morning. Our lesson today, lesson number 4 in algebra. It's called the determinant, and we have two types of the determinant. Number 1, it's called the second order determinant, and we denote it by a sign like the absolute value. For example, if we have A equals absolute value as a matrix A, B, C, and D, how to find the value of the second order determinant equals the product of the two elements of the main diagonal minus the product of the other two elements. For example, find the value of the determinant for -7, 2, and 6. How to find the value? I said the product of the main diagonal, 4 multiply 6 equals 24, minus the product of the other two elements, 2 multiply -7, it will be -14, negative, positive, and 24 plus 14 equals 38. The second example, determinant sin theta, cosine theta, negative cosine theta, sin theta. How to find the value? The product of the main diagonal, sin theta multiply sin theta, it will be sin power 2 theta, minus the product of the other two elements, cosine theta multiply negative cosine theta, negative cosine power 2 theta, negative cosine power 2 theta, and we have negative, it will be positive cosine power 2 theta, and already we have studied in the trigonometry sine power 2 theta plus cosine power 2 theta, the result it will be 1. Find the value of x. Find the value of x means here solve the equation. We have determinant equals 0. Okay, how to find the value of the determinant? At the previous, the product of main diagonal minus the product of the other two elements. Okay, so x power 2 minus 4 multiply 1, any number multiply 1, the same, so x power 2 minus 4 minus 1 multiply 0, it will be 0, equals what? The determinant equals 0. So x power 2 minus 4 minus 0, the result it will be x power 2 minus 4 equals 0. Solve the equation. In negative it will be positive, so x power 2 equals 0 plus 4 equals 4. X power 2 equals 4. We need to find the value of x, so you have to cancel power 2, and x equals to cancel power 2. We have to put positive or negative square root 4. So Lx equals positive or negative 2. Other example, determinant equals 1, and we need to find the value of x. Again, we have determinant with the second order. How to find the value of it? I said the product of the two elements of the main diagonal minus the product of the other two elements. So x plus 2 multiply x minus 2. So I will write x plus 2 multiply x minus 2 minus the product of the other two elements, 3 multiply -2, -6, and we have negative, so the result it will be positive. The determinant equals what? Equals 1. X plus 2 and x minus 2, we have two brackets, the same bracket and the different in sign. How to evaluate the two brackets? The first power 2 minus the second power 2, 2 power 2 equals 4. After that, plus 6 equals 1. You have to collect the like terms, x power 2 minus 4 plus 6. What about the like terms? The numbers, -4 plus 6. So x power 2 as it is, -4 plus 6 equals 2, equals 1. Solve the equation. Positive it will be negative, so the result it will be x power 2 equals 1 minus 2 equals what? Equals -2. Now we have to find the value of x, so you have to cancel power 2. The result it will be x equals positive or negative square root -1. Okay, back to first term. Okay, square root -1 equals what? Remember, square root -1 equals what? Equals I. So the result it will be x equal positive or negative I. The second type, the third order determinant. We have signs rule, okay. First row, positive, negative, positive. And the first column, positive, negative, positive. The third row, positive, negative, positive. So how to evaluate or how to find the value of the third determinant? For every element of the matrix A, if you have matrix A, there exists a minor determinant. Minor determinant, I mean smaller than the third. Like what? It will be second, inshallah. So again, for every element of the matrix A, there exists a minor determinant which we can get by eliminating the row and the column intersected at this element. Okay, for example, find the value of determinant, this determinant of the third order. So if you have third order determinant, so you have to check what your signs rule. Okay, if you work about the row, positive, negative, positive, don't forget. If you work inshallah on the column, you have positive, negative, positive. Okay, so the example, find the value of this determinant. Choose any row or any column to work. For example, I will choose the first row. Again, the first row, positive, negative, positive. Positive, negative, positive. I will choose the first row. What about the first element in the first row? Number 2. Look, number 2. I said determinant which we can get by eliminating. So you have to cancel. Cancel what? Cancel the row and the column intersected by this element. Back to the question. Again, I will choose number 2. So you have to cancel a row and the column of this element number 2. Cancel this row and cancel this column. So what about the determinant? 0, 4, 1 and negative 3. Again, cancel the row and the column of the number 2. What about the remaining? 0, 4, 1 and the negative 3. So you have to put it in the determinant in the other. Okay, after that, negative 3. And why negative? The number 3 positive. Why negative 3? I said we have signs rule. 3 positive, it will be negative. After that, you have to cancel the row and the column. You have to cancel row and the column of number 3. What about the remainder? Negative 2, 4, 1 and negative 3. After that, positive, negative, it will be negative 1. And you have to cancel the row and the column of number 1. What about the remainder? Negative 2, 0, 1 and 1. Equals. Number 2, multiply. Do you remember how to evaluate the second order of the determinant? Yes. Multiply what? 0 multiply negative 3, it will be 0 minus 1 multiply 4 equals what? Equals 4. Negative 3 multiply. How to evaluate the second order? Negative 2 multiply negative 3, 6 minus 1 multiply 4 equals 4. After that, minus 1 multiply negative 2 multiply 1 negative 2 minus 1 multiply 0 equal 0. Calculate 2 multiply 0 minus 4, 0 minus 4 negative 4, 2 multiply negative 4 negative 8, 6 minus 4 2, negative 3 multiply 2 negative 6, negative 2 minus 0 negative 2, negative 1 multiply negative 2 positive 2. So negative 8, negative 6, negative 14, negative 14 and 2, negative 12. Another example, find the value of determinant for 0, 0, negative 1, 5, negative 3, 3, negative 2 and negative 1. So I will choose the first column for 0, 0. Why? Because we have zeros and 0 multiply anything equal 0. Okay. Number 4, I said when you choose any number, so you have to eliminate or you have to cancel the row and the column. You have to cancel row and the column. What about the remainder? 5, negative 2, negative 3, negative 1, minus 0, multiply any element equals 0, plus 0, multiply any element equals 0. So the result, it will be 4, multiply. What about the second order determinant? 5 multiply negative 1, negative 5, minus negative 3 multiply negative 2, positive 6, equals 4 multiply negative 5, and the negative 6 equals what? Negative 11. So 4 by negative 11 equals negative 44. The second part of the lesson, the triangular matrix. What is the meaning of the triangular matrix? It's a matrix in which all its elements above or below the principal diagonal are what? Are zeros. For example, if we have matrix and the order of the matrix is 2 by 2, look, this mean diagonal 3 and 2. So again, what about the triangle matrix? Matrix in which all its elements above or below are what? Are zeros. Second example, we have a main diagonal, okay? We have zeros what? Below the main diagonal, so it's called what? The triangular matrix. How to find the value of this determinant? The value of the determinant of the triangular matrix equals what? The product. Product of what? The product of the elements of its principal diagonal. Back again to the example. So for example, 3, 1, 0, 2. I said this triangle matrix. Why? Because the number below the main diagonal equals 0. So how to find the value of this matrix? Product of the main diagonal. So 3 multiply 2. How to find this? The product of the main diagonal. 4 multiply negative 4 multiply 6. For example, find the value of this determinant 4, negative 1, 3, 0, 0, 5, 0, negative 1, and the negative 2. Can you check this determinant is a triangle matrix or not? Yes. Why? Because this main diagonal and the elements, all the elements below the main diagonal are what? Are zeros. Okay, how to find the value of this determinant? I said the product 4 multiply 5 multiply negative 1 equals what? Equals negative 20. Example, solve the equation of this determinant x0, 1, 8, 1 minus x, negative x, negative 1, and 1 plus x equals 0. I said to solve the determinant of the third order, choose any row or any column and positive, negative, positive. Lx, multiply, cancel the row and the column of the x, and write the remainder 1 minus x, negative 1, 1 plus x. After that 0, I said that don't write the 0. After that 1, multiply, cancel the row and the column of number 1, and write what? And write the remainder 8, 1 minus x, negative 1. How to find the value of this? X multiply the third order determinant. I said multiply the two elements of the main diagonal minus the product of the other two elements. 1 minus x multiply 1 plus x minus what? Negative 1 multiply negative x. Negative 1 multiply negative x, it will be positive x. The second determinant, 1 multiply 8 multiply negative 1, negative 8 minus what? Minus x multiply y minus x. Minus x multiply 1 minus x, and close the greater bracket. X multiply evaluate the bracket 1 minus x multiply 1 plus x. We have two brackets, the same bracket, the same numbers but different in sign. The rule is first for 2 1 power 2 it will be 1 minus the second term x power 2. After that minus x, close the bracket, plus 1 multiply any number the same, negative 8, minus x multiply 1, negative x. Negative x by negative x, positive x power 2, equals x multiply this bracket, x multiply 1x, x multiply x power 2, x power 3, x multiply x, x power 2, negative 8, negative x, plus x power 2, all of these equals what? Equals 0y, because solve the determinant when this determinant equal what? Equals 0. So we have to collect the like terms, x minus x, x power 2 minus x power 2, and write the remainder, negative x power 3, negative 8, equals what? Equals 0. Solve the equation, and negative 8 it will be positive, therefore negative x power 3 equals 8. So x power 3 equals negative 8. How to find the value of x? Cancel the power 3 and put the cube root. So Lx equals what? Lx equals negative 2. The third part of the lesson, how to find the area of the triangle, but using what? Using the determinants. If x, y, z is a triangle where Lx, A and B, Ly, C and D, Lz equals E and F, then the area of triangle x, y, z equals what? Area equals half. Half multiply the determinant of the third order, and you have to line up the vertices. Lx, look, A and B, Ly, C and D, Lz, E and F, and you have to write in the third column 1 and 1 and 1. For example, find using determinants the area of triangle XYZ whose vertices are x, y, z. I said, what about the steps? Area, absolute value of the area, equals half. Half what? Half multiply. I said you have to line up the vertices Lx 1 and 2, Ly 3 and negative 4, Lz negative 2 and 3, and you have to write in the third column 1 and 1 and 1. How to find the value of the third determinant? I said you have to choose any row or any column, but it's better to choose the third column. Why? Because we have 1 and 1 and 1. So area equals half multiply 1. You have to cancel the first row and first column and write the remainder 3, negative 4, negative 2 and 3, minus 1, multiply, cancel and cancel, 1 and 2, negative 2, 3, plus 1, cancel and cancel, 1, 2, 3 and negative 4. And you have to find the result at the previous. So the result it will be half multiply the result of these determinants, it will be negative 16. Half multiply negative 16 equals what? Negative 8. So the absolute value of the area equals 8. It was square units. We have important remark to prove that the 3 points x, y, and z are collinear. Prove that these points are collinear by using what? By using the determinants. Why? Because already you have studied how to prove that the collinear points by the slope in the prep 3. In the second one, prove that the 3 points x, y, and z are collinear by using the determinant. How? So we have to prove that this determinant, you have to line up the 3 points Lx, A and B, Ly, C and D, Lz and E and F, and write 1 in the third column. So the result it will be equals what? Equals 0. So For example, prove using determinants that the points negative 2, 4, 3, 0, 8 and the negative 4 are collinear. How to prove that? I said you have to line up the points negative 2, 4, 3 and 0, 8 and negative 4, and you have to write what? 1, 1, 1, 1. The result must be, it will be what? 0. Choose any row or any column. I said it's better to choose the third column, 1 and 1 and 1, and write 1 multiply, cancel, 3, 0, 8 and negative 4, minus 1, cancel, negative 2, 4, 8, negative 4, plus 1, cancel, negative 2, 4, 3 and 0. The result, it will be, finally it will be 0, so therefore the points are what? Are collinear. Why? Because the value of the determinant equals what? Equals 0. The last part in the lesson, solving a system of linear equations by what? By Kramer's rule. If we have two equations of two variables of the first degree, a1x plus b1y equals c1, a2x plus b2y equals c2. How to solve these equations? We have 4 steps to solve these equations. Number 1, find the determinant of the matrix of the coefficient, and it's called what? It's called delta. Number 2, find the determinant of the variable x, and it's called delta x. Find the determinant of the variable y, and it's called delta y. Finally, find the value of x. X equals delta x over delta, y equals delta y over delta. Okay, the first example, solve the system of the equations using Kramer's rule. Okay, we have two equations, 6x minus 5y equals negative 23. Line up the equations, plus 3y equals 16, and do these steps. Look, number 1, find the determinant of the matrix of the coefficient, and it's called what? Delta. So delta equals determinant of the coefficients. What about the coefficients? I mean x and y. 6, negative 5, line up, 3 and what? And 3. And how to find the value of this determinant? By cross multiplication. 6 multiply 3 equals 18, minus 3 multiply negative 5, it will be negative 15, and we have negative, it will be positive. 18 plus 15 equals what? Equals 33. The second step, number 2, find the determinant of the variable x, and it's called what? Delta x. So delta x equals what? At delta x, you have to cancel the coefficients of the variable x and write the constants, negative 23, 16, and write the coefficients of y, and cross multiplication. Negative 23 multiply 3, it will be negative 69, minus 16 multiply negative 5, it will be negative 80, negative and the negative, it will be positive, negative 69 plus 80, the result it will be 11. The third step, find the determinant of the variable y, and it's called delta y. So delta y, how to find the delta y? You have to change the coefficients of the y and write the constants, negative 23 and 16, negative 23 and 16, and write the coefficients of the variable x as it is, 6 and 3, and find the value. 6 multiply 16, 96, minus 3 multiply negative 23, the result it will be negative 69, so it will be plus 69. 96 plus 69 equals what? 165. The fourth step, find the value of x and the value of y. How to find the value of x? X equals delta x over delta. Therefore, Lx equals delta x over delta equals delta x equal what? Equals 11 over delta equals what? 33. So 11 over 33 equals what? Third. And y equals delta y over delta. Delta y equals what? 165 over delta equals 33. 165 divided 33 equals what? Equals 5. Okay, if the example said find the solution set, the solve, how to find the solution set? So, a solution set equals braces of set and open order pairs and write x third and write y L5. This is the solution set. The last question. Solve these equations. 3y plus 2x equals z plus 1. 3x plus 2z z equals 8 minus 5y. 3z minus 1 equals x minus 2y. The first step, you have to arrange your equations. 2x plus 3y, 2x plus 3y, and inverse z, it will be negative z. Equals what? Equals 1. You have to arrange your equation as it is. X, y, and z. Equals what? Equals a constant. The second equation, 3x. I need y, so inverse y, negative 5, it will be 5y plus 2z equals what? Equals 8. The third equation, I need x and y. X minus 2y. X minus 2y. What about the z? It will be negative 3z. Equals what? Equals a negative 1. How to solve or how to find the solutions of these equations? I said we have 4 steps, 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Number 1, you have to find the determinant of the matrix of the coefficient x, and I said it's called what? Delta. At delta, you have to line up the coefficients. 2, 3, negative 1. After that, the second equation, 3, 5, 2. The third equation, 1, negative 2, negative 3. And we have to find the value of the delta. How to find the value of the determinant of the third? I said positive, negative, positive, or positive, negative, positive, whatever. The result, it will be 22. After that, for the second step, you have to find the value of delta x. I said delta x. How to find delta x? Delta x, you have to change the coefficients of the variable x by what? By the constants. 1, 8, negative 1, and write x and y. 3, 5, negative 2, negative 1, 2, and negative 3. And find the value of this determinant, and the result, it will be 66. Delta y. How to find delta y? You have to change the coefficients of y. You have to change the coefficients of y by what? By the constants. 1, 8, negative 1, and write x and z. 2, 3, 1, negative 1, 2, negative 3. And find the value of delta y. The result, it will be negative 22. Delta z, you have to change the coefficient of z and write it what? The coefficients. 1, 8, negative 1, and write x and y. 2, 3, 1, 3, 5, and negative 2. And the result, it will be 44. Finally, how to find x? Lx equal what? Delta x over delta. Delta x over delta. 66 over 22 equals what? Equals 3. Ly equals delta y over delta. How to find the result? Delta y, negative 22. Z equals delta z over delta equals 44 over 22 equals what? Equals 2. This is our lesson today. Don't forget your homework, page 20 in your booklet. Okay, thank you.